you have become somewhat a very aloof person, meaning your eyes.
Yeah, even I have observed with you, Vilas, yesterday. You are not like earlier. You used to talk. When a topic comes, you used to show so much of interest to talk. Now you are little neutral.
Yeah, and my friend was saying to me that I had gone to his home the other day. So he said that for the last 1.5 years, if I were to see you, your eyes are totally non-expressive, and it seems like you're literally not interested in any talk. So I get that feeling. I said, yeah, maybe true. But I listen to whatever people say. But the eyes are literally non-expressive. So yesterday my wife was also saying that they're literally non-responsive, like a dead person's eyes. There's no thing. Okay, so I don't know what you made out of it yesterday. It's so fine. So I was asking her in the evening, so what to be done? She said that at least pretend that you are watching them. So I need to do something now about the eyes. Good morning, Padmashri.
Morning, Padmashri. Good morning. Good morning, Vilas. Good morning, Lata. Good morning.
Yeah, so this morning somebody had sent me a WhatsApp message showing a dog barking at its own reflection in the mirror. Okay, so what I was feeling is that we are doing the same thing. We're exactly barking at each other, not knowing that it is your own reflection to whom you're talking to.
Exactly, Vilas. So I don't know, one of these days, I also felt the same thing.
Okay, very
Yeah, we are, I don't remember when it was, but one of these days I was also feeling that. You're talking to yourself, interacting with yourself, and everything is you and so on. Same way.
Yeah, so if you really get that experience all the day, it's beautiful because now you don't have anyone. So there is no family.
It's only at, yeah, that's true. I had only at that time. That's it.
Okay.
Then it went away.
So the difference between yesterday and today is yesterday my friend had arranged an auto. So but donated something, so that's the reason we went there. So anyway, so from the time I started from my home till I reached, and then discussion with his guru there, and then while return and back to my home, and the time they spent, etc., etc. It's like a movie. So I was just watching the movie. I didn't have at the end of it any impressions at all of anyone or anything being done. It was just a flow. But then I tried remembering all the scenes. So I'm able to do that. Every scene I'm able to go back, but there is no connection, meaning there is nothing like I went and I sat and I had and I did this, I did that. So it is fully free flowing. There is no what I can say, there are no impressions at all of any kind. So that was the experience of yesterday, and today this experience. So I thought it is closely related to what we are going to talk about. That is 283rd verse. It's exactly what you would feel if you are with that. Tattvam asi adi vakya uttha brahma atmaikatva bodhataha brahmani atma vadaradhyaya swa adhyasya apanayam kuru. So from that Tattvamasi arises the knowledge of identity of Brahman and Atman. to strengthen your ties with Brahman, you remove the superimposition on yourself. That is just like that dog barking on the mirror. If we just were to watch that, nobody is there, just a mirror reflection. So if a person stands near me, it's a mirror reflection of myself. So what I need to do is that I need to immediately remove the skin in the mind. So when the skin is peeled off and the other unit is also removed, what is standing in front of you is you. Or you make, not by intellectualization, you should experience that you are indeed that person standing with a different color and different height and different kind of body. So if we are able to get that, then you are done. I don't think so there is anything else that need to be done, because there is nobody there except for you in that reflection. And in reflection, another reflection, another reflection. So there is a, if there is a dog, it is your own reflection. If there is a cat coming in, that's your own reflection. If there is a mosquito coming in, it's your own reflection, something like that. So if we are able to get into that reflection, that becomes Chidabhasa. So now you are experiencing that Chidabhasa everywhere. So then you don't exist, because you are also a reflection of the same kind. So whoever is going to come is you in one form or the other. Any questions on this? Or is it easy? Or is it confusing? And it's a very nice feeling if you are able to do it for a few minutes also. Any comments? All okay?
I'm not fully understood.
Okay, but it is very simple like this. Now,
It says that you have to remove all unwanted things from us, right?
correct. What is unwanted? It is your identity, right? Identity is coming from the body, right? So now what I need to do is, just like I stand in front of a mirror, I have to do that. This is exercise. You stand or we stand in front of the mirror, then the reflection comes in of the object. Don't take that
Yes.
object as you. Just like the dog, now it barks on the other person, but we don't bark because we know it is myself who is standing.
Yes, in this example, when I stand in front of mirror, the purpose is maybe I want to comb my hair.
Correct.
But I do only up to that, then I go. But if I do any manga chestadar in front of that, then it gives a different feeling altogether. There is a lot of aham will come there. Purpose is only this, finish and come out.
No,
But
no, that is
I
correct.
cannot remove even that picture from my mind because I am doing some karya there without any attachment.
No, it is like this. So just like you come in, you stand in front of the mirror. There is a mirror reflection.
Yes.
You become the mirror. So anybody standing in front of it is you only. So
Okay.
you become a walking mirror.
That means I'm watching myself.
Exactly. So once you get that experience, you will come to know what is Brahman all about. Then you will see everybody is you only.
Yeah, so that watching is not my body. I will be watching myself, inner core.
But how do you do that? That is the question, right? So the intellectually you can say, yes, I will watch myself, but it doesn't happen that way. The moment you
Correct.
see an object, you are going to recognize that object, right?
Yeah. In Jagrata, Maya is visible as permanent.
Yeah. So now if let us say the wife comes in and I will recognize her as my wife. I don't recognize her as my own reflection. That is not
So
possible.
you are telling that you see yourself everywhere. That is the message, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the exercise here,
Okay. Now I understood. Yes, yes.
the exercise here is just like anybody standing in front of the mirror, it reflects. You become that mirror. Don't take that emotion to be yourself. Somebody comes and gives you an emotion, right? So that mirror doesn't take it. Like you are combing your hair. Mirror doesn't take your hair. Once you go away, it is not going to cry, saying that, oh, my friend butt went away. Then again you come back to the mirror and the mirror says, wow, at last you came back. I was waiting for you. Then it goes away. Then again it cries, oh my goodness, where did he go? In the same way, can we do it? Is the question. This is one exercise which will help you to know what is Brahman. I'm not saying this is the only exercise. This is one of the exercises. See, now that dog watching its own self, its own reflection, but a dog thinks that there's another dog. The only difference between that dog and myself right now is that the dog doesn't know. It is more ignorant than me, meaning it is not able to know that it is its own reflection what is coming there. So it is barking at it, it is getting angry, it is showing its tail, it is stiffening its tail, and everything is happening on the other side also. I will send you that video, so you will come to know. I'll send it to all the three of you, so you can watch how the dog is really doing it. So the difference between that dog and us is that we know it is myself. In the dog case, it doesn't know it is itself. It thinks it's another person standing. So the Viveka here between the dog and myself is that the dog doesn't know, cannot discriminate between another dog and itself. So wherever it finds a dog, it is going to bark, be its own reflection. Whereas in our case, we don't bark at ourselves if we stand in front of the mirror. But when we stand in front of somebody, we are going to do the same barking, because now that mirror is not there, I see some other person there in front of me.
Okay.
So I will show my emotions now. So if that guy is showing some emotion, some tamasic guna or sattvic guna or rajasic guna or a combination of each of these guna, then I am really getting engrossed in that guna. Now what I need to do is become guna atita. By watching my own reflection, myself is bhat, let's say. Now what happens? There is nothing which is there against or for. So I have done gunatita. And the same thing holds good with Padma Shri and Lata. So if I know I am Lata myself, or I know that I am Padma Shri myself in a different body, then is there any emotion that is going to come? I'll be watching that reflection doing something in front of the mirror. And it goes away. Let's say we are in a meeting, 4 of us, in one of the conference room, and after 1 hour, we all will disperse. So the mirror also went away. There is nothing there to reflect. But I am going to see another person, and that person will start reflecting his guna. So I just watch it. And then after that he goes away. He talks and goes. Just like, Sudhindra, who was here, he reflected and he went away. He shared so much of information and he has gone. So should I keep those impressions with me is the question. If I become the mirror, then there is no need to keep any impressions. In the consciousness, it just reflected and went away. Now if I keep the reflection, what's going to happen? I'm going to evaluate that how good did he speak, and what happened, and this happened, that happened, then what did you feel, and whether this much of information is required, that much of information is required, etc., etc. So now I become an evaluator, which means we become like a dog which is going to bark now. So any other way of doing it, you think, or you three of you think? This is one way what I found easy. But other three, I'm asking a question. Do you think is there any other way where we can get this?
If we are going to see ourselves everywhere, that is good technique. There nothing will come in between.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything is occupied. Like what banana, I think, Kanakadasa, I don't know, something similar.
Yes, absolutely. I've sent that video. It's a nice one.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have done it very well. Okay, so that is one shloka what we can see. So 284th verse, he talks about aham bhavasya dehe asmin nisheshah vikalyava vilayavadhi savadhanena yuktatma sva adhyasya apanam kuru. Till the identification as body is completely rooted out without so much as a trace, being a man of concentration with vigilant effort, try this negation of all superimposition on yourself. Here the problem is that the body comes back always. It comes back. So when I see your photo right now, I don't see it as myself. I see it like it is but for sure. So in that case, it is still there. So the trace has not gone out. So if the trace has not gone out, it means that it's going to be very difficult to be vigilant and also concentrate on that. So what he says, put your concentration and vigilance so that you are able to negate the superimposition. The superimposition here is the body. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you all can really contemplate. Now, before we were born into the womb, and also before our children were born into the womb, it is just a space. Okay, now in the space there is consciousness. So even in the Yoga Vasishtha, Saraswati explains the same thing, that wherever there is space, there is consciousness. So it is true. So that wherever there is space, there is consciousness. Now this consciousness enters into the womb. Now there is no food there. There is absolutely no food. But this consciousness then has the remaining four elements attached to it. So it then has Vayu, and then Agni, then Jala and Prithvi. So it starts becoming a small thing which is literally not visible to the naked eye, but microscopes can show it. So the cells will have that blastocyst, and then it starts producing, and then it becomes some body formation. Until that time, there is nobody there. So there is no superimposition. The mother also doesn't have any superimposition. The father also doesn't have any superimposition. Only when the mother misses the period, and then she comes to know why the period is missed, and then she goes to the doctor, and he or she does the examination, and then they say that, look, you have become pregnant. And then that lady is an would-to-be mother. So if we can watch this from that time to the mother being declared, or that lady being declared as a pregnant woman, who is there? There is no body at all. So if we can contemplate on that, again you will see Brahman everywhere, because that process is the same, irrespective of who is getting there, whether it is going to be a rat or a cat or a tiger or a lion or a cheetah or a cow or a goat or whatever. All womb related mammals, if we were to take, instead of birds and or egg related, if we were to remove and go only with the womb related ones, you will have a very startling experience that there is no one. It is only the consciousness arriving in various wombs, and that's all what it is. So there is no difference between A and B and C and D and hundreds of them. It looks divided, but there is no division. It's exactly doing what it is doing. So from the space or within the space, there is consciousness, and this consciousness just enters into a womb because the condition is right. So now the would-be parents make some sense there for that consciousness. So it enters. It can enter into a goat, it can enter into a sheep, it can enter into a lion, it can enter a human, it can enter anywhere where the womb is existing. So from that time to the time when some solidity is seen, there is nobody there. Even then there is nobody there. That solidity, what we are seeing a little bit, that is also totally changing. So we can see that there is no one, there is no reflection at all as I. So can we practice that with vigilance? If we can practice it, you will lose your identity. So immediately you will get into nirvana, because there is nothing else other than that. Because then there is this feeling of son and daughter and mother and father, brother, sister, wife, husband, guru, shishya, all that will go away, because it is not true. That is a superimposition. So can we do that? What do you think? Is this workable than the mirror one? Since we all have become parents. And other two can also respond. It's not that it is only me and but.
Yeah. For me, the other one is more, because I have already done it for some time. You had asked me to do that before, right?
Yes,
to see yourself in everyone.
yes, I had asked you to do before.
Yeah, so that I have already been doing, so that would be easier for me to do.
Yeah. What do you think, Padmashri?
For me, second one seems to be more
Appropriate.
something
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Try it out. Do it as much as you can in a day. Don't forget to do it. And just keep on watching. For everyone, it is the same. Irrespective of whatever is that being.
Right.
Even the crows, the birds, the dog, the cats, I can see so many of them, those things here. So everything.
Yeah, everything is the same. I mean, you leave the egg related ones for time being. You only look at the womb related. Like all animals, all mammals are womb related, right? They come out of the womb. So we had to only watch that. The process remains the same. And then the consciousness enters. And to that consciousness comes the physical body. It's not that physical body is there and consciousness enters. On the consciousness, the physical body is appearing. It is like a vesha. Vesha means garb. Put on something. And that is coming out as a different color and different texture, different kind of this one, and it keeps on growing based upon that. So we'll not go that far. We'll just watch the first 3 months of the cycle of the woman or that being. Can be woman, can be a female cow, or that is cow and or dog or whatever it is, right? So all female animals, including human, we watch for 45 days, 1.5 months. From the time of inception to the mother comes to know that it is pregnant. That's only consciousness which has entered. There's no person who has entered there. So in that, there is no body. That means nobody enters with a body. So if you are able to watch this, you will really experience that infinite Brahman. Because that's the one which is entering everywhere. Nobody else is entering. So now, 285th verse, if we were to do this for 1.5 months, what that being is doing. Pratitihi jiva jagatoho swapnavat bhati yavata tavat nirantaram vidvan swa adhyas apanayam kuru. Now you see, in that 1 month period, the first 1 month period, there is nothing there except for this blastocyst and other things what we are calling it, but that being doesn't know anything about two things. It doesn't have a jiva, that is intellect. It doesn't have the jagat. Both are not there. Swapnavat bhati yavata. It's like in a dream. It doesn't experience anything. Tavat nirantaram vidvan. So long O learned one continuously strives for swa adhyas apanayam kuru. Watch this. Then the superimposition goes away. So it is very vivid and clear. If we were to watch it, there is nobody there. In that 3rd month or in that 1st month, where is the Jivi and where is the Jagat? It's not there. Because the consciousness has entered into the womb, only Ishvara exists. And if that termination comes, let's say, for whatever reason, then that mother has something called as miscarriage. That woman cannot do anything about it. She might cry, she might have a very bad mood and other things for a few days or whatever, and also bodily struggle and all that, but nothing can be done because that Ishvara went away. So if in every being this consciousness is going to enter, it's called Ishvara. What if it doesn't enter at all? Then it is Parameshvara, that's all. So why did it enter into the womb? It entered into the womb because of the vasana and associated karma. So what if right now we stop going behind vasanas and karma? Then you will not have another entry. So with that, you are relieved. What do you think? This is the most profound way of doing it. If you go back, if we were to go back to our womb days, keep on reflecting on that, and our children who are born, their womb days, you will see no startling difference between you and those children. They have done the same thing. They had vasanas, they had karma, so they have taken birth, or they have entered into the womb. That means the Ishvara with Jivi, intellect and Manas, with Jagat for future identification has entered. The same thing we also did, so-called we also did the same. Our parents were ready for becoming father and mother. So at the right opportunity, the Ishvara entered with Jivi and Jagat. And when the body got developed, when the delivery happened, after few years, we are in Jagat, identifying everything and also identifying myself as an intellectual and also with Manas, mind. So now I have this Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. All the four are running continuously. So if there is an entry, there is going to be an exit for that body. So that's called death. So can we practice? So which one you would like to practice for the whole day? The dog one or this one or which one? And if you do it, definitely you will experience Brahman.
Yeah, can you say the last one again?
No, which last one?
Just now we explained now, just before. Two I have understood.
No, the third, in the second one only. See, can we in everyone watch like that? That they have come out of vasana and karma, right? And that body.
But individually they have not come out. But for watching from my point of view, I am going to see Brahman all around. Experience. That means I don't have to do any action, just observation, pure observation. So when I do the pure observation, other than Brahman, there is nothing. That is one way of doing it.
No, that is correct. So how will you watch it is the question. You have to use some tool to watch it, right?
How? Yeah, See, so far we used to close our eyes and we used to do the dhyana, but now in this case it's open eye.
Yes, it's open eye.
Yeah.
Now that closed eye is for making the mind calm. That's all. Now we are in the other one, right? Nididhyasana. So what we need to watch is, what is the being doing in the first month of being in womb? It has only swapna. There is no jagrata. All the impressions are coming, but they're all in the sleepy state, swapna state. Until the body grows, that being has no idea of itself. So can we be able to practice that is the question. In all the situation, in all the moment, can we really watch this? This is something that can be watched. It is there. As an example, but yesterday coming to your home, having breakfast at your home, and then we coming back and this and that. If I compare all of that, it's a dream.
It's a perfect dream, yes.
It's only
But
that
during that time, there was emotion, right? Emotionally means either some moments it is boring, some moments may be very interesting. Whenever something is interesting, feel like talking for any individual. When it is boring, then try to avoid and change the topic. That's what, we had interaction. We three plus that one there. Totally 4 people we had interaction almost.
correct.
So there, interesting and the boring, both. We are just watching. That means in our chitta, no change.
Correct.
This is what is observation.
Yeah, there is no boring.
Just observe. When you observe, there is nothing called interesting and boring.
Boring, correct.
But for that person, the person who is talking, it's a very interesting throat.
Yes,
And when I observe him, what I see that he is having emotion of interest. But what is there inside is pure energy.
correct.
Because of vasana, he is talking like that.
Yes,
But if I think what he's talking is either right or wrong, then I am also part of that.
yes. So then in that case, you also become like that dog which is going to bark.
Correct. Just observe. Then attachment point of view. See, once you meet people, attachment starts. Then there will be both sides attachment. So as soon as your meeting is over, meeting is something, karya happens. Just forget. After that, no, nothing is required. Don't plan anything further. Correct?
Correct.
The moment you plan, it is attachment.
Not only that, if you're just watching, there is no you also being watching that.
Yes.
It just goes away.
Correct.
Okay. Now he gives many upasana in the verse 286 to 292. So now he says that don't forget. So whichever approach you want to do. So nidrayaha loka vartate vartayaha shabdadihi api vismritehe kvachit na avasaram dattva chintaya Atmanam Atmani. Through non-awareness, one indulges in worldly sensual matters, which are sound. So he says Shabdadihi, sight, sound, taste, Rupa, Shabda, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha, all the five. Vismritaha, completely engrossed in that. So now the thing should be like that, like this. So yesterday the person who came to your home, he just used his mouth to explain, and along with that another person came along with him and he also spoke something, and you also spoke something, but all three are sound only. And when we went to KBS home, and that again is another sound. And again we came to your home and we had a breakfast, and that was making sound also. And there were sound of utensils and other things.
Yes.
And then auto made the sound. And then we left. So what did you get out of the whole episode? From 9:30 we entered your home till 11:40. You only got sound.
Actually, during that time, if I use emotions, it may be sometimes happy moments, sometimes neutral, sometimes sad moments, because somebody is expressing something. So it is a mixture of these three. But if you look from the spiritual point of view, the moment you are in spirituality, time factor is gone. Then you are just observing. You are doing what you call Eka, this one kind of dhyana, Brahman. And that person will immediately lose his interest because there is no emotions for other side to listen to him.
This is exactly what my friend...
And he will slowly go away.
Correct. So this is what my friend said when I went to his home last week, that my eyes are non-responsive, non-expressive.
Yes.
Because whatever he was speaking, I was just listening without any emotion.
Correct.
So yesterday I was doing the same thing at your home as well.
Yeah.
I was talking, but I had no emotions. So
You had no emotions, that is my observation yesterday.
yeah, so the last year when I used to come for that Bhagavad Gita, there was expression.
Yes. Yeah, you are so much interested at that time. That means emotion was there.
Yes. Now there is no emotion. It's flat.
Actually, that kind of image is liked by maximum people.
Correct.
Because the other person is always, when you see the neutral, it doesn't have any negative feeling. Either positive or neutral. That is okay.
Right.
So the changing environment around me, responsibility is with me, not with others. No point in blaming other person.
Absolutely. So there is no point.
Yeah, this is what I thought. This is for me very interesting dhyana.
Yeah.
See, observing people is one of my interest. Just observe. Keep observing. Even observing tree also I can do it half an hour. Just observe. So without having, that time it was with the emotions. Okay, appreciate the beauty, appreciate what he talks. But here, with the neutral feeling. That change I have to do.
Yeah. So if we are able to do that, you will see something very extraordinary. The sound comes and goes away. It doesn't hurt you in any way, or it doesn't make you excited in any way. Both it doesn't do.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, the sight also does the same thing. See, we came with a body and we left with a body.
Yes.
So after we left, there was nobody sitting on that sofa where we had sat.
Yes.
And there were no utensils, plate, and all the other things what you had brought. And there's nothing called as coffee or whatever was served. So after, let us say, 1 hour, it is death only, right?
Yeah, for 1 hour death. After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people entered. They were there for 1 hour.
Yeah.
I told you, no?
Yes. Somebody is going to come. Yes.
Yeah, but 1 hour gap was there.
A 1 hour gap was there. After they left, again it became death.
Then nothing. Nothing. Just empty.
Yeah. So at that time, who was sitting on the sofa? Nobody else, right?
Yeah.
So then the question comes, did the sofa exist in the first place? It didn't.
No.
It did not. It comes at the time when you watch it. If you don't watch it, there is no sofa.
Yes.
So let's say from your room and you went upstairs and sat in the room and your wife was sitting downstairs.
Yeah.
That person,
Correct.
along with the sofa, along with that whatever you have in that living room, doesn't even exist.
Yes.
So what exists is wherever you are with consciousness. That is all what exists. So then he gives lot of upasanas to do. He gives he gives 6 upasana. So we'll first start with the first upasana. Mata pitroho mala udbhutam mala mamsa mayam vapuhu tyaktva chandalavat duram brahmi bhuya kriti bhava. Now this is the problem what we are addressing, but this is for all the 3, or including myself. How did we arrive? How did this consciousness arrive? A consciousness got impressed with the mala of Mata and Pita. So can we consider our children who are born in us came from impurity? That place from where it comes is highly impure.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the Srishti, it is impure. If you look at it from a spiritual angle, there is nothing like that.
No, this shloka especially wants you to look at impurity from spiritual point of view.
Okay. Yeah, it is clearly understood. Impurity.
Okay,
Because after that you have to maintain our body daily. You have to take 2 times bath if you are in the coastal area.
Correct.
Otherwise it is impure. With no time. It's just 10 minutes after bath, gone.
Yeah, it has.
And the manas is always bad. Manas is always bad. Body is.
Correct.
Only I think body is in a good shape when you are in deep sleep. Because then you have no consciousness there.
Yeah, so mala mamsa mayam vapuhu, constituted by flesh and the mala means the urine and feces. Mayam vapuhu, constituting that I have arrived. Tyaktva chandalavat duram, stay away from Chandala or Chandala. Chandala means outcast. So this body is an outcast. This actually happened with Shankaracharya when he was going and then a Chandala stops him. And then he says that, no, I am a sage and you are a Chandala. So he says that you are equal Chandala like me. And that is a turning point for Shankaracharya when he is going near Haridwar. So, and that's the reason he has specifically written this, because there is one samvada between the Chandala and Shankara. It's a nice thing to read, how it changes the perception of Shankaracharya, who was thinking himself to be very pure, and this Chandala will say that you are as impure as I am, because you are able to recognize me as Chandala. That means you are equal as Chandala. Okay, so now our body is something like Chandala. Can we do that? Can we consider this body itself as Chandala? An outcast. filthy, ragged outcast. And every hour plus, we go to remove the filth. And no matter how much we clean that place called as toilet, but we are going there. So can we, in the senses, make a very ashubha and concentrate on that, or rather meditate on that? So we can see when the baby comes out, it is coming from a place which is stinking. That place stinks all the time, not only at the baby's arrival, all the time it stinks. So can we then look at the entry point and also the exit point? Both are the same. And if we were to do it, can we maintain a safe distance so that the Chandala can be seen? If I accept this body as a good body, and I can say that it is so nice to be in this body, that means I am a Chandala. So the another practice other than what we spoke about, so this is from Shankara point of view, not from my point of view. It is from Shankara point of view. She gives a upasana, something that needs to be worked. So this body is unwholesome. In no way anybody can maintain this body, no matter how much that person tries. It changes hour by hour, minute by minute, day by day. Nobody can do anything about it. And it smells because it's full of mala and mutra. And ultimately it leads to diseases, vyadhi. So this very body becomes a diseased body, and that very body is diseased person also. The consciousness departs from that body. How it entered, it departs. Now when that departs, that very body is diseased. It ceases to exist. So it has to be put in a casket, or it has to be put underground, or it has to be burnt, or something that has to be done, called as Shava Samskara. But from the beginning itself it is Shava. It's not that only at that time it becomes Shava. So from the beginning itself it is Shava. So can we consider this body as Shava right now and leave it? Leave it aside, throw it aside. So let's do this. So we have three of them to do. One is the one what I said about barking. The second one is observing when somebody comes and all that. And there's the third one. We'll take the next one tomorrow. Upasana 2, provided how we have experienced on Upasana 1. So another thing is that, if possible, if you can share your experience on either one of the three or all the three, will be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine then, let's meet tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.